There are US islands so cheap they sound fake. Places where rent drops, beaches stretch for miles, and your bank account suddenly stops whimpering. But here's the plot twist nobody puts on the travel brochure. Affordability doesn't mean simplicity. These territories are gorgeous, chaotic, misunderstood, and occasionally powered by hope and a backup generator. Today we're counting down 5 US island territories that might be worth the hype. Emphasis on might. Some feel like paradise with a discount tag. Others feel like paradise with a receipt you didn't notice until checkout. Let's open the list with the island that delivers paradise up front and sends the bill afterward, and somehow still makes you say yes. Number 5. US Virgin Islands. The US Virgin Islands are the kind of place that show up on postcards and move here and heal ads, then casually hide the part where your electric bill gets a speaking role. It's stunning, it's magnetic, it's romantic, and it can be pricey in a way that makes your budget flinch like it just saw a fraud alert. Let's start with the obvious. This place is stupidly beautiful. Each island, St. Thomas, St. Croix, and St. John, looks like the Caribbean hired a stylist. Turquoise water wrapped around hidden coves, hills glowing gold at sunset, sailboats cruising by like they're late for a photo shoot. Even the chickens walk around like they're sponsored. You don't take pictures here, your phone takes them for you out of respect. Now the wallet reality check. Rent for a modest apartment can hit $2,000 plus. Electricity can run $400 to $800. Groceries sometimes behave like luxury jewelry. People don't complain about the power company, WAPA, they tell survival stories. You'll turn on the AC, hear it hum, and instantly feel financially judged. And still, the islands will have you smiling like it's personal. Charlotte Amalie feels like walking inside a painting. Danish architecture, pastel walls, narrow cobblestone paths, little shops full of handmade crafts. On St. Croix, the boardwalk is basically a nightly therapy session, seafood, laughter, and sunsets that look illegally filtered. St. John is about 60% national park, which means nature picked the best seats and left humans the corners. Now for the fun part, because USVI isn't just pretty to look at, it's a playground. You can beach hop all day until you forget what day it is. Snorkel in water so clear you start waving at fish like neighbors. Take a boat out, go sailing, do a sunset cruise, or just sit on the sand at Trunk Bay and accept that this is your personality now. Hike the trails on St. John, chase viewpoints, and act like you're in a nature documentary, minus the narrator. And the culture? Warm, proud, rhythmic. Festivals pop off with steel drums, moco jumbies on stilts, and food that will ruin your self-control forever. People will welcome you, feed you, tease you, and also kindly warn you which beaches are great for swimming and which ones are great for rethinking your swimming skills. Yes, things break. Yes, places close early. Yes, storms can roll in with zero courtesy. But if you've got the budget, the patience, and a sense of humor, the USVI gives you a daily life that feels like a screensaver you somehow got to live inside. Number 4. Guam. Guam is the island that tricks your brain into thinking you're still in America until your bank account gently taps you and says, "We need to talk." It's beautiful, vibrant, complicated, and full of surprises. One minute you're watching fighter jets slice across a turquoise sky, the next you're staring at your utility bill like it personally wronged you. Paradise with a personality. Here's why Guam gets side-eyed on cheap territories lists. It isn't cheap, not compared to the others, but compared to mainland hotspots like Hawaii, California, and New York. Guam can feel like a clearance rack version of island life. Housing is the big variable. A one-bedroom can run $1,000 to $1,700, and an 800-square-foot unit can hit $1,500 to $2,200 furnished, depending on where you land. For island life, not terrible. For your bank account, doable. For Hawaii prices, it's basically a joke with a happy ending. Visually, Guam is ridiculous. Cliffside views that belong in movies. Jungle trails that feel like secrets. beaches that glow at sunset like someone turned the saturation up on real life. It's the kind of place where even a random gas station has a view good enough for Instagram. Culture-wise, Guam is a full buffet. Chamorro traditions, American influence, Filipino warmth, Japanese tourism, and a big military presence all sharing the same small island. People are genuinely welcoming, and you'll get fed like it's a community sport. If you're trying to diet, good luck. The island said no. Now the grown-up part. Groceries can be pricey, electricity can be very pricey. Utilities can hit $300 to $400 if your AC runs too long, and the humidity will absolutely beg you to turn it on. Transportation is pretty car-dependent unless you enjoy sweating through your shirt like it's a hobby. And typhoons? Guam doesn't do gentle storms. It does secure your life choices storms. The upside is the community is resilient. People rebuild, help each other, and keep it moving. But day-to-day fun is where Guam shines. You've got beach days in Tumon, snorkeling and swimming in clear water, and sunset walks where neon lights bounce off the surf. You can hit Tangasan Beach for cliff jumps if you're feeling brave or feeling like you need a dramatic life update. You can hike jungle trails, chase viewpoints, and spend weekends exploring Bahufyu history sites that are literally part of the landscape. Farmers markets are a vibe too. Taro, mango, fresh fish, music in the air, and that everybody knows everybody energy. And if you want a moment that sells the whole island, stand at Two Lovers Point. Wind loud, ocean roaring, cliffs looking like they were carved by gods. For a second, the bills and the humidity and your AC's expensive personality all go quiet. Guam isn't the cheapest territory, but it's memorable in the best way. Familiar enough to feel comfortable, different enough to feel like a real adventure. Number 3. American Samoa. American Samoa is the island that greets your wallet like a long-lost relative and then slaps your grocery budget with the force of 1,000 cargo ships. It's full of contradictions. Rent is so cheap, it feels illegal. But milk and potatoes act like they're auditioning to be luxury items. Still, it's one of the most naturally enchanting, spiritually grounded places under the American flag. Here's the number that makes people short-circuit. You can rent a one-bedroom apartment in parts of American Samoa for about $150 to $200 a month. Not a room in a shared house, an actual apartment with actual palm trees nearby. Meanwhile, people on the mainland are paying that to park a car. You'll tell someone the price and watch their face go through the 5 stages of disbelief. But cheap housing is only part of the story. Nearly everything else arrives by ship, and the ships do not care about your feelings. Groceries can be seriously expensive. A basic item can feel like it's priced in emotional damage, not dollars. Fuel prices creep up, produce can vanish for days, and when the shipment lands, the supermarket turns into a competitive sport. Job options are limited too. Most work is in government, schools, the tuna cannery, or remote jobs you bring with you. Healthcare? Fine for minor stuff, but anything big usually means hopping a plane to Hawaii. What you get in return is a place that moves on island time and doesn't apologize for it. Fea Samoa, the Samoan way of life, isn't a slogan here. It's the operating system. Family, respect, community, church life, they all sit front row. Time slows down, people greet you, kids play outside. You remember what it's like to live without constant noise. Then there's the fun stuff. This is basically a playground for anyone who loves the outdoors. You can swim in quiet lagoons, snorkel over reefs, hike along cliffs that look hand-painted, or wander through rainforests so lush they feel fake. Early mornings on the beach are unreal. Soft pink sky, cool sand, waves rolling in gently while a church bell rings somewhere behind you. It's the kind of place where your rent is $180, your social life is barbecues and beach days, and your main complaint is that cereal costs too much. Pros? Insanely cheap rent, jaw-dropping nature, deep community, and a slower life that actually lets your nervous system relax. Cons? Expensive groceries, limited jobs, spotty healthcare, and not much in the way of malls or nightlife. If you're okay trading Costco runs for coral reefs and village life, American Samoa can feel less like a destination and more like a reset button. Number 2, Northern Mariana Islands/Saipan. Saipan feels like someone took a cost of living spreadsheet, a war history book, and a tropical desktop wallpaper and decided they all had to share one island. It's remote, beautiful, and surprisingly gentle on your housing budget compared to the mainland. On paper, the numbers look almost suspicious. The overall cost of living sits around 35 to 40% lower than the US average once you factor everything in. Housing is the real soft spot. One-bedroom apartments often fall in the $500 to $900 range, and home prices around $250,000 are pretty normal. That's tiny condo in a big city money for an actual house with sky and ocean in the background. Utilities usually land somewhere around $250 to $330 a month, depending on how much you ask your AC to fight the permanent tropical sauna climate. Food and transportation, though, don't always play nice. Nearly everything is shipped in, so groceries and gas can cost more than on the mainland. If a ship is delayed, the grocery store can start giving end-of-the-world movie vibes. Healthcare is limited too. Everyday issues are fine, but anything serious usually means flying to Guam or Hawaii. The time zone also keeps you slightly emotionally divorced from the mainland. When it's Monday morning here, it's still Sunday in parts of the US, so scheduling calls feels like solving a math problem. Now the fun part. Saipan is small but loaded with things to do if you like being outside. You've got beaches with water so clear you can see your feet, your future, and the fish judging your swimming form. There are snorkel spots, dive sites with World War II wrecks, and calm lagoons that feel like giant natural pools. Hikes take you through jungle and up to viewpoints where everything turns into stacked layers of blue sky and sea. You can stand at Suicide Cliff or Banzai Cliff and feel both the weight of history and the drama of sheer drops meeting crashing waves. Then later, you're back in town eating kelaguen on the beach with friends while the sunset performs for free. Life leans simple here. Weekend barbecues, beach days, and late-night conversations instead of malls and overstuffed calendars. The pros are amazing. Lower overall cost of living, especially housing, plus wild natural beauty and a slower rhythm that makes stress feel optional. But you will have to deal with limited health care, higher prices for food and fuel, long flights, and that feeling of being very far from everything. For the right person, Saipan isn't just affordable, it's the quiet, ocean-framed life they didn't realize they were allowed to want. Number 1, Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is the island that punches the mainland economy straight in the ego. It's the territory where your budget suddenly remembers it has self-esteem, where rent shrinks like it overheard you talking tough, and where the ocean casually photobombs every window you lean toward. And the wildest part? It's still under the US flag. No visas, no customs, no emotional support passport. Just hop on a plane, blink twice, and boom, mango trees, mountain air, and a cost of living chart that looks like it's been edited by someone who actually likes you. Now the numbers, because they're too good to whisper. Puerto Rico is roughly 20 to 34% cheaper than the mainland once housing is included, depends on the city. A one-bedroom that's $3,000 in New York can land around $1,200 to $1,500 in San Juan. Step outside the metro, and you'll see whole houses in the $800 to $1,100 range. Even home prices in many towns hover around $130,000 to $150,000, which is the kind of number that makes mainlanders stare into the distance like they've seen a ghost. But it's not just cheap. Puerto Rico is cinematic. Old San Juan's pastel streets, coffee farms in the hills, waterfalls tucked into limestone, and beaches that look like somebody turned the saturation up in real life. Even the stray cats in Old San Juan act like they're booked and busy. Also, roosters here do not believe in sleeping in. They're up at 4 a.m. like they're getting paid per scream. And yes, There are some cons. The power grid can be shaky. You can be mid-zoom, feeling productive, and the lights blink, then disappear like they got bored of you. Hurricanes are a real part of life, and you'll want to be smart about preparedness. Groceries can also get dramatic. Restaurant meals are around 26% cheaper than the mainland, but certain imports, milk, cereal, random snacks, sometimes show up priced like luxury items. A $9 box of Cheerios will humble you quickly. Now back to the good stuff, because Puerto Rico gives you plenty to do between sunsets. Beach days are obvious, but you can also hike jungle trails in the rainforest, chase waterfalls, do a weekend road trip through mountain towns, take a coffee tasting day that turns you into a snob overnight, and end the night with music that basically drags you onto the dance floor. Food is a full personality here too. Grab pinchos from a stand, find a spot blasting salsa, eat something fried you didn't plan for, and pretend it was part of your wellness routine. Picture this: golden hour on a balcony, warm breeze, Coqui frogs going full opera singer, and somebody down the street grilling pinchos like it's their ministry. Rent is lower, life is slower, and even with the occasional blackout, you'll catch yourself thinking, yeah, I get why people stay. Paradise always comes with fine print, but these islands still deliver something rare: beauty that rewires your stress levels. If one of them tugged at you, trust it. Your next chapter might just come with palm trees, warm water, and a cost of living. Your wallet can survive.